Hi there folks, welcome back to Rich Review. So I just got out of seeing the latest Stephen King adaptation. It's a remake of Pet Sematary, folks. Yes folks, they remade Pet Sematary. Now the fascinating thing here folks is I was going to the movie theater tonight, and so I asked my mom, what should I see, the Pet Sematary remake or Shazam? She said, Pet Sematary remake. Well, my mother chose wrong. Years since I've seen the original Pet Sematary, if at all, and it's been years, if at all, I've read the original Pet Sematary book, and I really come to believe that this movie got made because it made money. So for every it, folks, there is going to be a Pet Sematary remake, or there's going to be a Carrie remake. When it comes to Stephen King adaptations, there are two flavors: the non-horror and the horror. The non-horror is usually good. You know, Shawshank, Green Mile, The Stand By Me, the list goes on and on. Horror, that's slim pickings because for people it's either The Shining, 1408, which I actually really like. Some people like The Mist. I hate the ending to The Mist. Will this be another addition to the great Stephen King horror films? No, it won't. To be quite frank, I think this really is going to be my worst list. So Jason Clarke moves his family over to somewhere that isn't Bangor, Maine. Essentially, he's moving his family from Boston. Yes, you're moving your family from Boston to Maine here, folks. I don't know why you would do that. And apparently, his wife has a whole lot of baggage with her because as a child, she had to help her sister who was deformed, I guess. Now, whether or not that's an actual book, I don't know. I don't remember the book. I realized, oh yes, there's a pet cemetery down in the back of their woods, you know. And their neighbor is John Lithgow, who's lived there all his life. Basically comes to believe that, oh yeah, there's something deep in those woods there. Now, what it is a Wendigo, but of course, later on, if we see something in the woods, it's not clearly defined at all. Eventually, Jason Clarke has two kids. One of them dies. I think it's the opposite kid in this film that dies. Now, then he comes to discover, oh yeah, I'm going to reanimate my kid here. In the bathroom, a person I know who I see regularly at the Alamo Drafthouse. Yes, trust me folks, everything is better at the Alamo Drafthouse, folks. He was seeing Shazam, I was seeing Pet Sematary, and I was telling him that, and he says, you cannot remake Pet Sematary, it's a classic Stephen King film. I'm happy they stayed away from this because it's really awful. This family is they're crazy from the get-go. I mean, Jason Clarke also have made a couple of roles. I've never really understood him. The wife, yeah, she's not worth it. I mean, now I do have a really interesting question. If you're dead and you're a child, can you overpower a grown man such as Jason Clarke? Well, I don't know about that, but they certainly do it in this film. I mean, wouldn't you think of, oh yeah, if you were to bring back someone from the dead, wouldn't that be front page news? I mean, clearly, yes, things happen in this town for unexplained reasons, but wouldn't it made national headlines? I mean, literally, the cat and this person that dies comes back more aggressively. Maybe that's explained in the book of why that is, because I'm just sort of left like, okay, so they're more aggressive. This film reaches such a non-abrupt ending that I'm thinking to myself, okay, is that the ending that you're going with? And so apparently two directors directed this thing, and I'm wondering, okay, did one person direct some material, the studio wasn't happy that he got fired and brought in someone else, maybe they worked in tandem? Because clearly sometimes I think some co-directors work well together. If these two didn't work well together, it does show. The reason this doesn't get a horseshoe ring because there was one joke that was actually funny, and it involves two people sitting down in a bed. In the end, I'm going to give this an only see it when you're drunk because there are no scares. So folks, the Pet Sematary, have you seen this? What did you think? How would you rank the Stephen King filmography if you could? As always folks, like, comment, subscribe, and enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time folks. Yes, hooray.